These two lines basically define Miles' character in the Spider-Verse movies, so in this video let's really explore what they mean and why they're going to be so important for the next part of the story. Let's start with his "there's a first time for everything" line, because that moment is way more important than people realize.
Well, it's the first time for everything, right?
Miles was having one of the happiest moments of his life there. He was alone with the girl he loves, finally sharing a real emotional connection with her, and then Gwen starts talking about how in every other universe she falls for Spider-Man. The second she says that, Miles immediately understands what she actually means. Even if Gwen says Spider-Man in a general sense, he knows she's talking about him in that moment. That's why he slowly tries to hold her hand. He's responding to what she's really trying to say emotionally. And the important part is that Gwen doesn't pull her hand away. She lets the moment happen. The only thing she does is finish the sentence by saying that in every other universe it doesn't end well. That changes the entire scene because it shows the problem was never a lack of feelings. Gwen wanted that connection too, but fear stopped her from fully embracing it. She's scared of the pattern repeating itself. Miles notices that immediately. He could have forced the moment and just grabbed her hand anyway, but he doesn't. He respects her fear and understands where she's coming from. Then he responds with "there's a first time for everything," and that line perfectly represents who he is as a character. What he's really saying there is that things do not have to end the same way just because they always did before. Just because something becomes a pattern across the multiverse doesn't mean their story has to follow it too. Miles has always been someone who challenges expectations and refuses to accept that his future is already decided for him. And honestly, that mindset is probably one of the biggest reasons Gwen fell for him so deeply in the first place. Miles is incredibly hopeful and optimistic in a way that changes the people around him. You can even see Gwen fully embracing his perspective later when she talks to his parents and says that one thing she learned from Miles is that it's all possible.
One thing I learned from Miles: it's all possible.
That line mirrors Miles' entire philosophy. He always believes there's another way, even when everyone else gives up or accepts the rules in front of them. His second major line comes during the train scene when he breaks free from Miguel using his Venom Blast and says that everyone keeps telling him how his story is supposed to go, but he's gonna do his own thing.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
That moment is basically another version of "there's a first time for everything," except this time the meaning is much bigger and applies to his entire life. With Gwen, that first line was specifically about their relationship. Miles was telling her that their story does not have to end the same way as every other version across the multiverse. He believed they could be different. But during the train scene, Miles expands that mindset into something much larger. Now he's directly challenging Miguel, the Spider Society, and the entire system they follow. What makes that scene so powerful is that Miles is standing against hundreds of Spider people who all believe the same thing, that suffering and tragedy are unavoidable parts of being Spider-Man. Miguel fully believes that certain events must happen no matter what, and that trying to stop them only makes things worse. Miles refuses to accept that logic. He doesn't want to blindly follow rules just because someone else says that's how things are supposed to be. He wants to choose his own path. He wants to save his father while still protecting his universe. He wants to be with Gwen without their relationship ending in tragedy. He wants to prove that these canon events are not absolute. And honestly, the fact that Miles is considered an anomaly actually makes this even more interesting because in a way, being an anomaly gives him freedom. That's what makes Miles so compelling throughout the Spider-Verse movies. When you really think about everything he's been through, it would be understandable if he became cynical or hopeless. Instead, he keeps moving forward, he keeps fighting for the people he loves, even when the odds are against him, he still believes there's another way. That optimism is the core of his character. That's why both of these lines are so important. They perfectly represent Miles' entire philosophy across the Spider-Verse movies. Whether it's his relationship with Gwen or his fight against the Spider Society, the message stays the same. He wants the freedom to make his own choices and create his own future instead of letting the multiverse decide it for him.